everybody, welcome back to Record-ology. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Well, what do we have here? It does appear as though we have a new record player. That's right, this is the Victrola Avery. 3-speed turntable, Bluetooth connectivity, 3.5 millimeter aux input, stereo speakers, RCA outputs. It is a 3-in-1 unit. As you can see, I did pay $119 for this, but I overpaid because if you use the link in my video description down below, if you like this, if I recommend it, I mean, if it's bad, we'll say it, and we won't recommend it, but if it's good and you choose to purchase one, you can get one for the low price of only $79. So let's go ahead and take it out of the box and give it a full review. Once I got these unfastened here, it just lifts up, which is kind of unique. I don't think I've seen that before. And then there's the unit. This is a different finish. Well, actually, no, we did do one of these farmhouse finishes before, but a lot of these that we reviewed had the brown finish. So I'm excited to see what this one looks like up close. So let me go ahead and get the rest of the packaging off and we'll give it a test. So in the box, we've got the manual, we've got a special offer. Victrola has their own vinyl store now. You can actually buy vinyl through Victrola, which is cool. For those of you that always say, and will say in this video as well, there's a box cable by the way, that this is not real Victrola, this is, you know, the real Victrola was RCA. Actually, Innovative Technology completely owns the Victrola name. They are Victrola, they own Victrola. So yes, this is indeed Victrola. And speaking of which, here is the beautiful unit still in its plastic wrap. I like to savor this moment, that smell of new furniture. And no, this isn't designed to take the place of a $1,000 turntable. This is a great type of starter unit, assuming that it tests well. This would be a good extra system for an office, for a bedroom, something like that. The Victrola 6-in-1, that's what we use it for. We have it in the bedroom. And it's a great secondary system, works really, really good. And this one, I hope, does as well. But let's go ahead and get that foam blocks, those packing materials off of it, and fire it up. Okay, get the last of the plastic off of there. But yeah, forgot they have these gigantic silica packets. Do not eat. Don't eat this, just throw it away. And then the power source is still wrapped up. We'll get that in a minute. But let's do sort of a tour around the sides. The finish on this is a beautiful, beautiful veneer. Obviously, this is particle board material, a wooden particle board with this laminate over the top. It is gorgeous. I love this black and white wood grain effect. It's continued off the side here with this cut to fit lid. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then down here on the front, you have the control panel. So this is different than its big brothers, the units that like are the 6-in-1, the 4-in-1, all that stuff. So it looks like we've got our function switch and power button, our volume up and down, an aux input, and some indicator lights. And that plastic just blends in perfectly to the overall design. I love, love, love the visual aesthetic of this. I think it is super, super cool. I do love the cloth grille. There are stereo speakers built in. We'll see how it sounds. Overall, it just has a very sharp, very smart look to it. So far impressed. Let's look at the back and the underside. On the back, we've got steel hinges. They look like they're pretty durable. We've got these vents on the back. Those are not speaker vents. They're just vents. There's the line output, stereo left and right. That does have the slot in the back. A lot of you ask why that is. The reason is it makes the entire case depth a little bit less deep by allowing the last inch or so of that record to protrude from that hole. So honestly, I've had so many record players that have that. You never think of it once you have it, because you push that to the back of the shelf or the table that you are, installing this in, and you never think of it again. So I wouldn't even worry about it whatsoever. Again, there's no tape player on this. It is just a turntable with Bluetooth and aux input. So there's no tape player, none of that, no radio. That's pretty much it from the outside. Let's look at the underside real quick. You can see this unit was built in May of 2019. And it's a typical masonite bottom panel with rubberized feet, just kind of screwed into the masonite. A couple of anchor bolts right there, anchor points. holding the components within the unit itself. Okay, now let's open the lid. Okay, taking a look under the hood. Awesome. Hard to do this with one hand. So we've got the Victrola branding under the lid there. I think that looks incredibly sharp and vintage. I love it. This is going to be a typical Skywin type of mechanism. We've got the foam block there. This is pretty useful if you've never done one of these before. But there is the platter. It's sort of the 3/4 size platter. This is a recessed area, so when you are trying to retrieve a 45 RPM record, you can get a little bit of leverage there. These rubber nubs serve as the platter mat, as it were. There's no formal platter mat, but these nubs will make contact with a 7-inch record, a 10-inch record, 12-inch record, no problem whatsoever. Back here, we have the spring-loaded counterbalance. So that's preset. We've got our little 45 adapter that just lives on this peg. So when you're playing a record with a 45 RPM hole, or a large hole, I should say, because not all 45s have that, you can use that. A little bit of packing material stuck there, and it just lives on this peg when you're not using it. It does have a typical Chuo-Denshi type clone cartridge, ceramic cartridge. There's nothing wrong with that. These are designed to track 5 to 6 grams, as you know, and they should do a fine job. It is a 3-speed turntable. It's got a cueing lever right there. A little bit of glue left over. We won't hold that against it. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. It should work good. So let's go ahead and power it on and see what happens next. Never noticed this before on the side. This has like these little pads, but the tape kind of pulls it up. So I don't know if you're supposed to leave that on like that, or I don't know exactly. Maybe you're supposed to take the tape off. And I pulled that pad off and there was no adhesive on it. So I don't know if you're literally supposed to leave it. I don't think that looks very good, honestly. It's kind of cheesy. I don't know if that's really the way it's supposed to be or not, but I guess it's functional. It just looks unfinished. Don't really like that. Let's go ahead and power it on. Got the power cord unwrapped, so we're going to go ahead and plug it into the wall, and we should be good to go. I don't know if there's any, I don't think there's any indicator on the front in terms of a screen. It's literally just this. So it looks like you've got phono mode, Bluetooth mode, and aux. So if I, let's see, press and hold for power. Okay, so press and hold to turn it on, and then a single click to the different modes. That's what it is. So phono mode, that's pretty simple. Oh yeah, I do need to take this little twisty tie off here. Okay, we've got a record on there. We're going to lift the tone arm. I did unclip the tone arm from there, and then when you rotate the tone arm over, it just starts playing automatically. There is no auto stop on and off switch, which is rare. Usually it lives right there. But let's go ahead and test the sound. Sounds pretty good, actually. Looking for damage too. It is belt driven. We will do a separate video and take this apart perhaps in the future, but there is a motor probably right over here, and then a belt on the inside of this platter, which, you know, this platter is a little bit unique. This isn't exactly like what I've seen a lot of in the past. It's a little bit different. It's a variant of some sort. So I don't know if it's made by Skywin, this mechanism, or not. This is also a more modern variant to have the counterbalance that's round versus the more squared off one. But anyway, there you go, guys. A first look at this interesting turntable. This is the Victrola Avery. And because everybody always wants to hear the Bluetooth, here is the Bluetooth. So my final thoughts are this. I think it's a great little unit. I think it looks really sharp, especially with the lid closed. I just think this is a winner all the way around. I like it a lot. Looks good, sounds good. This is an excellent, excellent starting point for vinyl records. I will put a link in the description down below so you can purchase one for a much better price than I did. And let me know what you think down in the comments below if you've had this before, if you consider getting one of these, what your thoughts are, what you like, what you didn't like. And that, my friends, is going to do it for now. Happy record hunting. We will see you tomorrow.